So today we are tackling my next problem. I have a wedding that I am attending in about 2 weeks and it's black tie. And I realize I don't really have something that I would consider to be black tie. So naturally, I want to make something. It's kind of hard for me to think of what kind of outcome I want the dress to completely look like when I don't know what type of fabric I'm working with. And in my mind, I have this very specific fabric that I want, and it's black satin-esque with red roses or red flowers, but no green. Usually when I find black with red flowers, there's always like a green stem or leaf, and obviously that does not fit my primary brand, and it would truly just hurt my soul to have green on this dress. A friend of mine actually recommended this fabric shop called Fabric, and I can put the address down below if you're interested and if you live in the Toronto area, because they do have so much fabric and so many options. So I went there last week. This was my first time going to this place and it was truly overwhelming, like floor to ceiling fabric. So if you have some time to kill and a lot of patience, I definitely recommend checking it out. And I also have a rave review because I found the exact fabric I was looking for. Like, look at this. I am obsessed with this fabric. It is so beautiful, but it is actually see-through. So I did have to pick up some lining, and obviously I was going to line it anyways, but I'm actually going to have to triple layer it. I don't want to have any exposed seams because this is sheer. You're going to be able to see the seams of this. So now I have to kind of think about what type of design I want for this dress. I also want a slit. I would want it on like the princess seam line in the front. To be honest, the flowers in this are bigger than what I probably would have imagined in my mind. I thought they would be closer together so I could get away with doing princess seams. I think if I did a princess seam line dress with this, it would take away from the pattern because it's so much bigger. So that kind of changes my design. And this is the final design that I am going to go with. I have eliminated the waistline seam and also went with no princess line seams for the dress entirely and moved the slit to the back. So now on to my next challenge, which is drafting this pattern. I'm honestly just gonna kind of wing it because I don't have a custom block for my size. I kind of just like make things and try to fit it as I go.
To start this pattern, I am using an existing pattern I already made for myself as a starting point. It has princess seams, so I'm going to try to piece it back together to make one single front pattern piece and a back pattern piece that I will cut two of.
Moving on to the next part of my project. So I officially have my pattern pieces cut out, and this is what the back looks like. It literally just looks like pieces of paper. But the next step is going to be to test and prototype this. Obviously, I do not want to use my good fabric yet, so I am going to be digging into my muslin supply and cutting out my pattern pieces. Okay, my muslin pieces are cut, and that took honestly like 10 minutes thanks to this bad boy. It's so cute. It's like a cute little sewing power tool. It's adorable. Anyways, I'm going to sew this prototype, and I'm also going to be sewing in a zipper because the dress will have a zipper and I want to make sure I get the fit correctly. Just by looking at this, it looks about 5 sizes too big. So I'm going to try it on, and then I'm going to get an idea of how much I'm going to need to take this in, and we will then go from there. As predicted, this is massive. But it looks like the darts and everything kind of measure up and hit a good place. It's just like, just a lot of extra room.
To fit this on myself, I put on a tight-fitting t-shirt so I can pin the dress on me and adjust the bit. Then I marked out my adjustments. Okay, I have made my adjustments. We are getting there. So it's a little loose up top, but it's not meant to be a strapless dress. So I will have straps and they will crisscross in the back, and I'll be able to tighten the back bodice of the dress. So I'm okay with the fact that it's a little bit loose. I'll be back tomorrow to start my dress.
Hello! It is a new day, I have new nails, and today is a big day because we are going to be sewing and making this dress. I ended up getting 2 yards of this printed fabric, and for those other layers, I'm just going to be using this lightweight silk fabric, and I bought 3 yards of this.
When cutting out my printed fabric, I have to be mindful of the placement of the flowers. I didn't want the print to feel symmetrical. Once my pieces were cut, I transferred the notches and darts to the wrong side of my fabric using chalk. Then sewed all the darts closed, leaving a long tail with threads to tie off to complete the dart. I did this to all my pattern pieces, then pressed them before I can start putting the dress together. I need to back my floral pieces to a set of black pieces, making sure the right side of the black fabric is facing the wrong side of the floral fabric.
So I finished prepping my fabric. This is how the front of the dress is going to look. And it is lined. Well, it's back. And then I also have a lining, obviously. That's why I cut out so many things. But all my fabric is prepped. It's serged. The darts are stunning. We're ready. We're ready to construct it. So the first step is going to be the zipper.
I'm using a black invisible zipper that I cut to size. I also decided to use some fusible interfacing to the back of the floral fabric to give my zipper some extra support. Then pinned and used an invisible zipper presser foot to sew it into place. Then I sewed the side seams of the floral fabric together.
My dress is coming along nicely. It's like semi-sewn together. The outside pieces are sewn together, but the lining pieces on the inside are not. So I can't actually try it on yet. So gonna finish the lining on the inside. Then I'm gonna do the neckline. But then I also have to do straps. Okay, so much to do, but we're getting there. The zipper is done.
Before I can sew the lining to my dress, I have to make the straps. I cut 2 strips the length of my total fabric and 1.5 inches wide and serged them right sides together. I used a safety pin to flip them right sides out. I pinned one end of the strap to either side of the bodice front and cut 4 smaller pieces that will act as loops to fit the straps through. Then I sandwiched the strips in between the lining and the self fabric, pinning around the neckline of the entire dress before sewing. Once I turned the dress right side out, I made sure the loops were symmetrical on both sides. Then I gave the neckline a good press before finishing up the hem and double folding the raw edge of the straps.
Guys, I cannot believe that I made this dress. It's exactly what I envisioned, which honestly gives me the chills. I am obsessed with this dress. It is so stunning. Look at it, it's finally done. Anyways, enough talking. This is how the dress turned out.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I am so happy with how this dress turned out. I'm considering to sell the pattern for this dress. So give this video a thumbs up if you would be interested in making one for yourself. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye!